I will give you a quick introduction to Python programming language. Python is a high-level programming language. It is known for its readability and simplicity. Python is an interpreted language, and it was created by Guido van Rossum in 1991. Python has frameworks like Django and Flask for website development, Pandas and NumPy for data science and machine learning. Now, to download Python, you go to python.org, and after downloading Python, we will also use a text editor, and in this course we will use Visual Studio Code. So to download Visual Studio Code, go to code.visualstudio.com. So you go to python.org and download Python software. After that, you install. After installing your Python software on your computer, then you go to code.visualstudio.com and download your Visual Studio Code text editor, which we will use in this course. Okay, so after installing your Python, then you go to Windows Command Prompt. You launch your Windows Command Prompt, and then you use it to check if Python has been installed successfully on your computer. So me, I am using Windows computer, so I go to search and then I type CMD, which is Windows Command Prompt. Windows Command Prompt will appear on the screen like this. Then I click to launch. Okay, when it opens, then I maximize. Okay, now here type py space hyphen v, py space hyphen v like this. Then you press enter. Now you wait for it to finish loading like this. When it finished loading like this, you see at the bottom left, you see the cursor is blinking. It means it is ready to accept codes or commands. Okay, so here you can type like 1 + 1 and you press enter. You see it will give you 2. You can type print, hello world. Okay, like this. Then you press enter. You see it has printed hello world. So this is not, or this part is not where we will use to code. This is to check whether your Python has been successfully installed on your computer. So here I have seen that my Python has been successfully installed on my computer. Okay, so I can close it. So I can close it. Okay, now then I open my Visual Studio Code. I told you earlier that you have to get a text editor, and that is Visual Studio Code. So I have to search for it again. Visual Studio Code. You see, as soon as I begin to type, it has appeared like this, Visual Studio Code. Then I select. Okay, so when your Visual Studio Code opens like this, then you go to extensions. You click on extensions. Then you make sure you have internet connection. Then you install this Pylance, Python, and then Python debugger. Me, I have already installed it. If you can't find it, you can use the search box. Then you search for it and then you install. These are extensions that will be needed. So we are going to create our first Python program. Now before I proceed, you must create a folder to keep your Python files. So on my desktop here, I want to create the folder called, I want to create a folder called Python to keep my Python files. Okay. Now after creating the folder, then I search for my Visual Studio Code and then launch. Okay, now I have opened my Visual Studio Code. Now it says open folder. Here I can click open folder and then I select the folder that I created on my desktop. So let me click open folder. Then I go to desktop. Then I click Python. Then I click select folder. Okay, now I have opened the Python folder that I created on my desktop called Python. Okay, so now to create a program, you have to create a new file. Okay, now to create a new file, you can click on this icon. It says new file. If you want to create a new folder, you can click here. It says new folder. Okay, you can also click the file tab and then you select new file to create a new file. Okay, now let me use this icon. It says new file, so I click new file, then I type the name of the file. So I can say my first Python program, my underscore first underscore Python, my first underscore program. Okay, my first Python program. Then you add .py, the extension .py. .py is the file extension of Python file. Okay, so you add it .py like this. Then you press enter. Okay, so my first Python program has been created into the Python folder on my desktop. Okay, so I can close it in case you mistakenly close it. Let me close it here for you to see like this. You can minimize it and then you go to your Python folder here and then the file is here. Okay, so now let me maximize my Visual Studio Code. To open, you double click this like this, or you click on it and it will open. Or you can go to file, then you go to open file, then you go to desktop, you select the Python folder, you click open, and you select my first Python program file, then you click open. Okay, so here we are going to type our codes here, and we want to create a program that says hello world. Okay, so I begin to type. Remember that in Python it is case sensitive. Python is case sensitive, so when you are typing your codes, don't enter or don't type uppercase and then lowercase. Don't mix them anyhow. For example, like print, if I want to type print, I make the first word P and then R N then call here something like capital T. This one is not good, okay? And like this. This one too is not good, okay? So me, for example, I always use small cases or small letters, okay? Like this. So now to create my first program that says hello world, or that print, or that displays the statement or the words hello world, you begin with print, okay? You open parenthesis. As soon as you press shift plus open parenthesis, both parentheses, the opening parenthesis and the closing parenthesis appear. So in the middle, then you type, so hello world. I bring my quote. The quote you can make it double quote or single quote. As soon as I press the shift plus the quote, both quotes have been have appeared. So I type in between the quotes. Okay. Hello, hello world. Hello world, like this. And in my next video, I will explain why I have put the two words in the quotes. Okay. So when you finish typing, then you put the cursor at the back of the closing parenthesis here. Okay. Then you go to file and then you save it. Okay. Now the program is complete. So we have to run it. Okay. So after saving it, then you go to the top right of the screen here. Then you see this one. It says run Python file. Then you click. Okay. Now at the bottom here, you can see the words hello world. Okay. It has printed the words hello world. So this is how to create your first Python program. Okay. Now I want to introduce something to you. We call something comment. Comment is like an explanation that will help you explain your code, or that will help you understand your codes well. Okay. You can use any words you want to explain a code. So let's say, let me put the cursor in front of P and press enter. Okay. So if I want to comment, I can say, I bring my hashtag. Okay. To comment, you bring the hashtag, and when you press the hashtag, any words that follows the hashtag are considered comments. The Visual Studio Code won't take it as part of the code that you are writing. So I can say my first Python program. Okay. Then I save. Anything you do, you save. Don't forget. So now this code, my first Python program, or this comment, if anyone opens this file, the person will see that this is my first Python program that I have ever created. Okay. You can use any explanation that you want. And when running the Python file, or when running the Python code, Visual Studio Code won't take this one, starting with the hashtag as part of the code, but it will take it as a comment. Okay. Okay. That is when your comment is on one line. Okay. Let's say I have the code print hello world. Okay. And let me copy and paste. Okay. Then I save. This one, when I run, it will print hello world 2 times. So like this. you see here at the bottom, hello world, hello world. Okay. If I want to make the first hello world a comment like this, I bring my hashtag in front, and that one too has been considered a comment. So when I save and this time I run Python, it will print only one hello world. Okay, you see the one here. You can kill this terminal, and this place is called terminal. You can see here it says here problems tab, output tab, debug console tab, and then terminal. The terminal is where the program is always displayed. Okay, so you can click here, kill terminal. Okay, then you run it again. So it has printed hello world, because the first hello world, it is a comment. Whenever you type the hashtag, any words that follows or any words that follow the hashtag are not considered part of the code. Okay, so now if I delete the hashtag and then save it, file, save. Now let me close this terminal and then run it again. You see it has appeared twice. Okay, let me call the terminal again and then bring the hashtag again. I save it and run. Only one hello world, because the first hello word or the first code has been considered as a comment. Okay. Now let me kill this terminal again. It is not necessary to kill the terminal, but I'm just introducing you to how to use it in different ways. Okay. Now you can see that my first Python program, it is a comment, and then print hello world. The first one is a comment. Now they are in different lines. The first one is on line 1 and the second one is on line 2. Okay. If I don't want to use the hashtag, I can delete this hashtag. Okay. And then I put the cursor here and press enter. Then I put the cursor here and press enter. Okay. Now I come back here and type quotes like this, the double quote. Then I bring one also here 3 times. Okay. Anything between these quotes, the first one is 3 and the second one is 3. You can use either single quotes or double quotes. Okay. So anything between this first quote, the one on the first line and the one on the fourth line, is also considered a comment. That is multi-line comment. The hashtag, the first one, the hashtag is used when the comment appears on a single line. But if you have multi-line comments or multi-line words, many words in different or more than one line, then you can use this quotes to make your comment. So now if I save it and I run, it will only display one hello world, because my first Python program and print hello world have been considered as comments. So they are not part of the code. So the actual code starts from line 5, which is print hello world. So I run it and then you see hello world like this. So to summarize it, let me put the cursor at there. Let me come here. To summarize it, anything between this, whether it is single quote or double quote, you use it 3 times. And then this. So anything between this one and this one here, no matter the amount of text or the code that you type, whether codes or not, as far as they are in these codes, they are considered as hot comments. Okay, so in case you want to use multi-line comments, then it means you have to use either single quotes or double quotes. The first one should be 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and the last one should be 1, 2, 3. The first one I mean is the opening tags. The opening quotes should be 1, 2, 3, either single quotes or double quotes. It should be 1, 2, 3 for the opening quotes, and then the closing quotes should be also 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let me delete it. Okay, now, and the quotes now, it is remaining only print hello world, and no matter how or no matter where it appears, whether line 1, line 2, or line 3, I can even put it at line 4 or whatever, and then save, and then run. It will still display it. Okay, so this is how to create a first program in Python. We are going to learn about data types in Python. Okay, so now I launch my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio Code, and before I continue, let me show you how to change the theme or the appearance of the interface. This is light theme, so in case you want dark theme, you can go to bottom left side here. You see this. Okay, you see this sign manage. You click on it, then you go to themes. Okay, then you select color theme. You click that. Okay, so here mine is light. If I want dark, I can come to this side, then I select dark. Okay, it says dark plus or default dark, then I click, and this is the dark theme. If I want the light theme, I will go back to that place and then change it. Okay, so now let me maintain this dark theme. And in my previous video, we discussed about how to create your first program or how to write your first program. Okay, and this was the program that we created, my first Python program here. Okay, so I created a folder on my desktop called Python to keep all my Python files. Okay, so now let me go to my folder. Okay, you can go to file, then you go to open folder, then you click Python or you select Python. That is the folder to keep my Python files, then select folder. Okay, so this is the first program that we created to display the word hello world. Okay, or this is the first program that we wrote to display the words hello world, and to run, you just go to run here, run Python file, and then it will appear at the bottom here, hello world. Okay, the terminal, you can kill it and you can click here at the top here. You see terminal, you can click, then you select new terminal, and it will appear again like this. Okay, but always After writing your code, you have to use the run button here at the top right to run. Okay, so let me close this program. Now we are going to learn about data types in Python. So I create my new file and then rename it or call it data types, data underscore types dot py. Always don't forget to add .py to the file name. Okay, so data types.py, then I press enter. Okay, so in Python we have about 4 data types. So the first one we have integer, we have integer. Okay, and integer example is okay, so example of an integer is okay, so examples are 0, 1, -5, -10, and then 8. So integer, and as in mathematics, integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So 0, 1, -5, 10, 8, they are all integers. Okay, so in Python we have the first data type is integer. Okay, and then the second data type is float. Okay, and the float examples are like 5.005. When they are the values that contain decimal. Okay, that contain decimal points. Okay, so 5.05 is a float, 50.106 is a float, 1.1 is also a float. Okay, 500.100 is a float. Okay, so the floats always contain decimal points or decimal places. Okay, and the third data type is string. And the string is examples are Paul, Peter. Okay, cat, pen, and the rest. So string are normally text. Okay, and in Python every string must be in a quote. Okay, it must be in quotes, either double quotes or single quotes. Me, I like using double quotes. So in Python every string must be in quotes. Okay, and the last data type is boolean. Okay, boolean, which is normally uh, true or false. Okay, but in our course we will talk about the first three data types: the integer, the float, and then string. So let me remove this boolean. Okay, so now we have these data types. Integer, we have integer. The first one is integer, and then the second one is float, and the third data type is string. Integer means a positive or negative whole number. Okay, so it can be 0, 1, -5, -10, 8, and then float is any value, or let's say if it is an amount that contains a decimal point, okay, or decimal places. For example, 50.05, 50.106, 1.1, they are all floats. Okay, and then strings are normally the text, and every string must be every string must be in quotes. It can be double quotes or single quotes. Okay, so these are the data types that we will be using most in our course. Okay, so now let me comment also that it won't appear or it won't be part of the codes that I'm going to show you. Okay, so multi-line comment is like this. Okay, so now we have seen three data types in Python. The first one is an integer, second one is float, and then third one is string. Okay, so in Python, if you want to write an integer, you can say int. Okay, int, it means integer. Okay, and float is written in full like this, float. Okay, and then string is written as str like this, it means string. So when you are coding or when you are writing your codes, if you want to say that a value or a number is an integer, you have to write it as int. If you want to show that a value or an amount is a float, you have to write it as float like this. Okay, and then if it is string, you have to write it as str. Okay, all right, so these are the data types in Python that we will be using throughout our course. Okay, so in my next video we will be looking at variable assignment, and you will understand the data types more. Variable assignment, how to create variables to store data. Okay, so me, I prefer or I like using the light theme, so let me change my theme to light. Okay, so I go to file, open folder, and I select my Python folder. Select. Okay, now I create my new file and call it variable assignment. Okay, I call it variable, sorry, let me use small letters, variable underscore assignment. okay, dot py, variable assignment dot py. Okay, so we are going to learn how to create variables to store data. Okay, so now to start, let's say a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2. Okay, go to file, then you save it. Okay, so a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2. The a and b are variable names. Okay, the a is used to store the value or number 1. So number 1 has been stored in a, and the b and number 2 has been stored in b. Okay, so a is a variable name, and then b is also a variable name. So in calculation, you use the variable names instead of the values that they are assigned to. Okay, so now we have seen that a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2. So we can say c is equal to a plus b. Okay, c is equal to a plus b, then I save it. Okay, and I go to the next line, then I say if I want to display the answer, I will say print open parenthesis c, and then this time the c is a variable name, so don't put it in quotes. A variable name shouldn't be put in quotes. As soon as you put anything in quotes, it becomes a string. Okay, so if I put c in quotes, I'll get mistake because it means it is a string. The Python won't identify or won't know that I am referring to the c here. Okay, so print c open parenthesis c. Now I go to file and then save. If I run, it will display 3. So let me go to run. Okay, you see at the bottom here 3. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, c is equal to a plus b. It means c is equal to 1 plus 2, and then print c means it should print the answer, which is a plus 1, which is 1 plus 2, or a plus b. Okay, so variable names here are a, b, c, and a has been assigned to 1, b has been assigned to 2, and c has been assigned to a plus b. This is what is meant by variable assignment. Okay, so I can delete everything, or let me maintain and go to 5th line. So I can say print open parenthesis c minus 1. Okay, then I save. Okay, then I run. And you see here it says 2. Okay, the first 3 at the top here, the first 3 is the first answer that we displayed. But in Python, you see this code, the code on number 4 comes before the code on number 5. Okay, So when Python is displaying the answer, because there are two calculations, both answers have to appear. So the first three here, okay, you see the three and above 2 is for the number 4, which is print C, and then the 2 is for the number 5, which is print C minus 1. Okay, and we know that C is A plus B, or 1 plus 2, which is 3. So C minus 1 means 3 minus 1, which is 2. Okay, that is why it is displaying 3 and then 2. Okay, if you don't want all to display, you can call the terminal. Okay, then you make the line 4 comment. Okay, as soon as you make the line 4 comment, only the line 5 is active. Okay, so when I save and I run, only 2 will display, which is the answer for line 5, which is print C minus 1. Okay, now if I call the terminal again and then I remove the comment and then save and run, it will print the answer for number 4 and the answer for number 5. So run. You see, the answer for number 4, or line 4, is print C, which is 3 here. Okay, and the answer for line 5, which is print C minus 1, is the 2. That is why it is displaying 3 and then 2. Okay, all right. So now let me comment all. Let me make them as comments so that it won't be part of the code that I'm going to write. Okay, so I can say A is equal to 10, B is equal to 5, and then sum is equal to A plus B. Okay, so I go to file and then save. Then I say print, open parenthesis, then sum. I put the cursor at the back of the closing parenthesis. Okay, then I save it. Always save it. Then after saving, then I go to run. Okay, so the sum is 15, which is 10 plus 5. Now if I want Python to tell me the data type of sum or the answer 15, I can say print, open parenthesis, and then type, open parenthesis, then sum, like this. I put my cursor at the back of the closing parenthesis, then I save. Okay, then I run. Okay, Python says int, which class int means integer. So the sum, which is 15, is an integer, and the sum on this line 11, the sum is a data is a variable. A is a variable, B is a variable, sum is a variable. A is assigned to 10, B is assigned to 5, sum is assigned to A plus B. So A, B, and sum are all variables. Okay. And the line 12, it says print sum. It means it will display the answer of the calculation, which is A plus B, or 10 plus 5. And print line 13, print type sum means I want to know the type, the data type of sum, which is 15. And then it says class integer. Integer means 15. It means 15 is an integer. Okay. So let me make here 5.5. 5.5. Okay. Now let me save it. Let me delete this and save it. Okay. Now let me run. So after running, it says at the bottom here that the answer is 15.5, which is 10 plus 5.5, 15.5. Now I want to know the type of the answer, and that's 15.5. I want Python to tell me the type, the data type of 15.5. So print, open parenthesis, then type, open parenthesis, and then sum. The sum is that contains the answer. So sum. I put the cursor at the back of the closing parenthesis, then I save. Okay, then I go to run. Okay, it says class float at the bottom here. It says float. So the data type of 15.5 is float. Okay. All right. Now let me comment, or let me make them comment. I'm going to show you another thing. Okay. Now I can say name is equal to Peter. Okay. And then name, Peter is a string or text, so it must be put in quotes. That is why I have put them in quotes. So name has been the variable called name, or the variable type name has been assigned to the value Peter. Okay, so Peter has been stored in name. Okay, so I can say print type name, then I save it, then I run. It says string. You can see at the bottom here, class string. Okay, always the result is always shown at the bottom of the terminal. So it says class string, or I can kill the terminal like this. Let me kill the terminal and run it again. Okay, so it says class string, and then so this is how to assign variables in Python. Arithmetical operators in Python. Arithmetical operators in Python. So now I create my file, new file. I select file, then open folder, Then I select my Python folder where my files are located. Okay, so I click new file like this, and then arithmetical operators. Arithmetical operators. Okay. .py. Okay. So this is arithmetical operators. .py. That is the file name. Then I press enter. Okay. So in Python, when it comes to arithmetical operators, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor, modulo, and exponentiation. So now let's start with addition. Okay. So the first one is addition. So addition. The first one is addition. Okay, let me comment. Let me make it a comment like this. Okay. And addition, let me put it into parentheses. The symbol is this. That is the plus. Okay. Okay. So I can say print, open parenthesis, 10 plus 3. Okay, so this is how to use the addition. Print 10 plus 3. Then I save and then run. Okay, the answer has appeared at the bottom here. And the terminal, it says 13. So the first arithmetical operator that we have considered or looked at in Python is addition, and that is plus. Okay, so 10 plus 3 is 13, and the answer has appeared at the bottom here. So the first arithmetical operator is addition. Okay, let's go to the second arithmetical operator, that is subtraction. Okay, let me make the addition side multi-line comment so that it won't interrupt us. Okay, now the above code has been deactivated. It has become a comment. Okay, so we have subtraction. Okay, subtraction, which is minus. Okay, that is minus. This one too, let me make it a comment like this. Okay, and I can say print, open parenthesis, 10 minus 3. Then I go to file and save. Then I run. Okay, the answer has appeared at the bottom. 7. The 13 at the above here is for the first calculation that we did, and the second one is 7. That is for the second calculation. So the 13 is for the addition, and the answer 7 is for the subtraction. And in Python, the answers, the last code or the last answer always correspond to the last code. Okay, so if you don't want to get confused, I can, okay, I can kill the terminal, okay, and run it again. Okay, so 7. Okay, so that is the subtraction. Now let me make the subtraction sign to side to comment, multi-line comment, okay, to deactivate it. Okay, now the third example is, or the third operator is multiplication. So multiplication, okay, in the multiplication we use asterisk. The asterisk sign is used to multiply in Python. Okay, so example, print open parenthesis 10 asterisk 3. Then I save it. Then let me call this terminal. Then run. Okay, answer 30. 10 times 30. 10 times 30. Sorry, 10 times 3. The answer has appeared at the bottom here, 30. Okay, so this is the multiplication sign, or the multiplication operator. Okay, the fourth one is division. Okay, division, and division is the slash, forward slash. Okay, so example, print open parenthesis 10 slash 3. It means 10 divided by 3. Okay, I save and then run. Okay, the answer is 3.3333. That is the division. Okay, and the next one, let me deactivate this one too. The next one is floor. The next operator is floor. Floor. Okay, and the floor is, the sign is double forward slash, like this. Okay, that is the floor. So example, print open parenthesis 10 floor 3. Now this is what the floor operator does. Okay, if you look at the division, 10 divided by 3, we got 3, remain 3.3333. So for the floor, 10 divided by 3, it will pick the 3 and then eliminate the decimal side. So instead of 10 divided by 3 giving us 3.333, the floor will give us 3. 10 divided by 3, it will pick the main answer 3 and then eliminate the decimal side. So I save it and run for us to see. Okay, the answer is 3. Okay, let me deactivate this code too. Okay, and the next operator is modulo. Modulo operator, and the symbol is percent. The percentage sign is used as a modulo operator, or the modulo sign. Okay, and the modulo always returns the remainder after division. Okay, so example, print open parenthesis 10 modulo 3. Okay, so I save and then run. It says 1. So 10 divided by 3, you will get 3 and then remainder 1. So the modulo always displays the remainder. The modulo always displays the remainder, while the floor displays the main answer. Okay. So this is how to use the modulo operator. Let me deactivate this one too. Okay. And the last arithmetical operator is exponentiation. And the sign is double asterisk. Okay, double asterisk. So example, print open parenthesis 2 raised to the power 2. Okay, and I save it, file, save, then I run. Okay, it has given us 4. That is, the answer is 4 here. Okay, so that is the exponentiation. 2 raised to the power is 2. Sorry, 2 raised to the power is 4. So these are the arithmetical operators that we have in Python. The first one is addition, which adds. It adds. The second is subtraction, that subtracts. Third is multiplication, it multiplies. Fourth is division, it divides. And then floor. The floor is when there is a division, it returns the main answer or the main value, and then removes the decimal part. Okay, and the modulo also displays the remainder after a division. Okay, and the exponentiation is like power, like 2 raised to the power 2, 2 raised to the power 5, or whatever that you want. Okay, so these are the arithmetical operators that we have in Python. Assignment operators in Python. Assignment operators in Python. So now let me create my new file and call it assignment operators. Assignment operators. Okay, .py. Assignment operators.py. Then I press enter. Okay, now we are going to look at the various assignment operators in Python. The first one is the equal sign. The equal sign. The equal sign. Okay, the first one is the equal sign. And for example, okay, example, I can say x is equal to 10. So it means x is assigned to 10. Okay, x is assigned to 10. So the first one is equal sign. Okay, or the equal operator. The first assignment operator that we are looking at is the equal operator. Okay, and then after the equal operator, we have addition equal. Addition equal like this. Okay, addition equal. So let me give you an example of how it is used. So don't worry, we will use them later. When we start intensive programming, you will know how to use them later. So don't worry. So addition equal example is this. If I say x minus, if I say x plus, sorry, x plus equal 5, x plus equal 5, it is the same as, let me put it in brackets or in parentheses, it is the same as x is equal to x plus 5. That is what it means. Okay, so addition equal example, x plus equal 5 is the same as x is equal to x plus 5. Okay, and we also have subtraction equal like this. An example, if I say x minus equal 5, it is the same as s is equal to x minus 5. X minus 5. Okay, so x minus equal 5 is equal to, or is the same as x is equal to x minus 5. Okay, then we have division equal. So example, x division divide equal 5. It is also the same as x is equal to x divided by 5. Okay, so division equal example, x division equal 5 means x is equal to x divided by 5. Okay, and then we have multiplication equal. Multiplication equal example, x multiplication equal 5 is the same as x is equal to x multiplied by 5. Okay, x multiplication equal 5 means, or is the same as x is equal to x multiplied by 5. Okay, and we have modulo equal. Modulo equal example, sorry, modulo equal okay, example, x modulo equal 5. It is the same as x is equal to x modulo 5. Okay, and then we have floor equal. Floor equal example, if I say x floor equal 5. It is the same as x is equal to x floor 5. Okay, and the last one is exponentiation equal. Exponentiation equal. An example, if I say x exponentiation equal 5, it is the same as x is equal to x exponent 5. Okay, so these are also the assignment operators in Python. We have the equal, addition equal, subtraction equal, division equal, multiplication equal, modulo equal, floor equal, and then exponentiation equal. Okay, so if I say x plus equal 5, it is the same as x is equal to x plus 5. X minus equal 5 is the same as x is equal to x minus 5. X divided by, or x division equal 5 is the same as x is equal to x divided by 5. And then x multiplication equal 5 is the same as x is equal to x multiplied by 5. And the same thing applies to the rest. So these are the assignment operators in Python. Comparison operators. Comparison operators in Python. So my Python folder that I created on my desktop has already been selected, and these files are already inside. So I want to create a new file for my comparison operators. Okay, so new file, I name it comparison operators. Comparison operators.py. Okay, comparison operators.py. Then I press enter. Okay, so now my comparison operators file has been created. Okay, so you look at the comparison operators in Python. Okay, the first one is equal, and equal here means the same. The equal I mean here is, or it means the same. Okay, we have the equal, and equal, we put it, so the equal, we use equal equal. This is how it is written, equal equal. So when you are coding, you have to use equal equal when you are comparing things. For example, so example, okay, I can say 5 is the same as 3 plus 2. Okay, so this is one example of how the comparison operator equal is used. Okay, so 5 is equal to, or 5 is the same as 3 plus 2. Okay, and then the next operator is not equal. not equal, not equal. Okay, and that one is written as exclamation sign and then the equal sign, one equal sign. Okay, example is like you can see 5 is not equal to, or 5 is not the same as 2 plus 2. Okay, 5 is not the same as 2 plus 2. Okay, so that is how the not equal is used. And then the next operator is less than, less than. Okay, which is this. Okay, so example, you can say 5 is less than 10. Okay, so 5 is less than 10. And the second another, and the next operator is greater than. Okay, greater than. And then that one example is 5 is greater than 4. Okay, and next is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. Okay, and that one is less than or equal to, like this. So example, for example, 5 is less than or equal to 6. Okay, 5 is less than or equal to 6. And the next one, which is the last one, is greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to, which is greater than or equal to, written like this. Then example of how it is used, you can say 5 is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so we have these comparison operators in Python. The first one is equal, which means the same, and the symbol is two equal signs, equal equal. An example is 5 equal equal 3 plus 2, which means 5 is the same as 3 plus 2. And then not equal. Example, 5 is not equal to 2 plus 2, or 5 is not the same as 2 plus 2. And then less than. Example, 5 is less than 10. And then greater than. Greater than. Example, 5 is greater than 4. And then less than or equal to. Example, 5 is less than or equal to 6. Then greater than or equal to, example, 5 is greater than or equal to 4. So these are also the comparison operators in Python. Logical operators in Python. Logical operators in Python. Okay, logical operators in Python. So let me create my new file and call it logical operators. Logical operators. Okay, .py. Logical operators.py. Then I press enter. Okay, so in Python we have 3 logical operators. The first one is the AND operator. Okay, and the first one is the AND operator, and the second one is OR, and the third one is NOT. Okay, we have these 3 operators, AND, OR, and NOT. But in this course, we will focus mainly on the first 2, the AND and the OR. So let me remove the NOT at the moment. Okay, now when it comes to the AND operator, when you are using the AND operator, certain conditions, two or more, or sometimes all conditions must be satisfied. For example, let me make this scenario for you to understand it better. When we go to conditional statements, you understand the logical operators well. Okay, so now example, this is example for you to understand. Okay, if I say learn Python, okay, or let's say if I say you must learn Python, you must learn Python and Java. It means all two conditions must be satisfied, and the 2 conditions are: 1, you must learn Python, and then 2, you must learn Java. So here you can't learn one of them. You must learn Python and Java. So here all conditions must be satisfied, and this is a scenario or example of how the AND operator is used in Python programming. So when we start conditional statements, you understand it better. Okay, and the OR means at least one condition must be satisfied. Okay, example, you must learn Python or Java. So here at least one condition must be satisfied. Either you must learn Python or Java. So at least you have to learn one of them, or at least you must know one of them. But when the AND is used, it means all conditions must be satisfied. So you must learn both Python and Java. But when the OR is used, it means at least one condition must be satisfied. So here you must either know Python or Java. Okay, so this is a simple explanation of how to use the AND and the OR operators. So from our next video going, you will know more about the AND and the OR operators. So for now, the logical operators in Python are AND, OR, and NOT, but we will look at AND and OR in this course. For loop. For loop in programming, loop means repetition. So when you want to repeat a certain task a number of times, then you have to use loop. Okay, so create a new file and then call it for loop. Okay, .py. Okay, so in Python we have for loop and then we have while loop. So in this video we are looking at for loop. In our next video we will look at while loop. Okay, so the for loop, the first example is for I in range, for I in range, okay, in range 5. Okay, then you bring colon, you press enter, and then print Python. Okay, for I in range 5 colon, you press enter, you come to the next line, you say print Python. Okay, so you save it and then you run. Okay, so this prints Python 5 times. Okay, so if you want 10 times, you replace the 5 with 10. If you want 50 times, you replace the 5 with 50. So for I in range 5, print Python. So it prints Python 5 times. Okay, now let's go to another example. So let me deactivate this code. So I have deactivated this code by making it a comment. Okay, another example is for I in range, for I in range, open parenthesis 1, comma 11, comma 2. Bring your colon, then you press enter. Print I. Okay, so you go to file and then you save it, then you run. Okay, so this one prints 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So for I in range 1, 11, 2. Okay, it means starting from, you should print the numbers from 1 to 11 using an increment of 2. Okay, so the the 1 means starting from 1, and the 11 means to 11, and the 2 means using an increment of 2. Okay, so if you can see here the answer or the output, the first one it printed 1 and then it added 2 because of the 2 increments. It added 2 and then 1 plus 2 you get 3, so 3, and then 3 plus 2 you get 5, so 5. 5 plus 2, you will get 7, so 7. 7 plus 2, you will get 9, so 9. Okay, so this is another way of using the for loop. Okay, let me make this one 2 comments. Okay, so now let's look at another example. Let's say name equal Python. Okay, for I in name colon, press enter, print I. Okay, name equal Python. For I in name, print I. So you save it and then you run. So this one prints Python in vertical style, Python. So for I in name, print I. The I represents the letters in Python. Okay, the I represents the letters in the word Python. Okay, so for I in name is equal to Python. For I in name, print I, and then it prints Python in vertical style. Okay, now let's go to another example. Let me make it this comment. Okay, so another example is for I in range 10, you bring colon, you press enter, print I. Okay, you save it. For I in range 10, print I. Okay, so this one prints the numbers 0 to 9. Okay, so for I in range 10, print I, it prints 0 to 9. Okay, in Python or in programming, counting begins from 0, so that is why it has started from 0. Okay, if you want to print, if you replace the 10 with 11, it will print from 0 to 10. Okay, and let's go to another example. So let me deactivate this code by making it a comment, a multi-line comment. Okay, so another example for I in range, for I in range 11, colon, you press enter. If I is greater than 0, colon, you press enter, print I. Okay, so this one will also print the numbers from 1 to 10. For I in range 11, if I is greater than 0, print I. So the I represents the numbers, okay, in the range 1 to 11 or 1 to 10. Okay, so the 11 means it will print from 1 to 10. Okay, so you run it, you save, and then you run. Okay, so 1 2 3 up to 10. Okay, so for I in range 11, if I is greater than 0, print I. Okay, so greater than 0 means starting from 1, because 1 is greater than 0. Okay, so this is how to use the for loop in Python. We will look at how to use break and continue keywords. Break and continue. Okay, so now I create my new file and call it break and continue. Okay, .py, break and continue .py. Press enter. Okay, so this is what the break and continue means. Okay, so let me type let me say program. Okay, program equal Python. Okay, for I in program. Okay, for I in program colon, and I press enter. If I is equal to h, okay, colon, press enter. Break. Okay, then you press enter. Break, then you press enter. Print I. Okay, so program equal Python for I in program. If I equal h, break, print I. Okay, so now let me save it and then run. Okay, so it will begin by listing the words in Python. When it reaches h, it reaches h, then it breaks, then it stops. Okay, so if you look at the output at the terminal, it says p y t. Okay, the moment it reaches h, then it breaks. Okay, so this is how to use the break keyword in Python. The break is a keyword. Okay, now let me make this one to a comment so that it becomes deactivated. Okay, and type another example. Okay, so now we are going to look at the continuum. Okay, so now I will type program again. Program equal Python. Okay, program equal Python. Okay, for I in program, colon, if I equal h. Okay, if I equal h, if I equal h, and here you make sure the cursor is below the I. If I equal h, continue. Okay, then you press enter. You press enter, and here you make sure the cursor is in line with the if. You say print I. Okay, I save it. Okay. For I in program equal Python. For I in program, if I equal H, continue. Okay. So print I. Okay. So I run. Oh, okay. I've made a mistake here. I didn't bring the colon. Okay. If I equal H colon, and I save it. Okay. Program equal Python. For I in program colon, if I equal H colon, continue, and then print I. So let me run and see. Okay, so this one also lists the words P T P Y T O N. Okay, but the moment it reaches H, it will skip the H and continue to the rest of the letters. Okay, so you see it started P Y T, and the moment it reached H, it skipped H, and then it moved on to O and then N. So if I equal H, when it reaches H, it should continue. It should skip H. Okay, so this is how to use the continue keyword in Python. The continue is also a keyword in Python. We will look at while loop. While loop. So now I create my new file and call it while loop. Okay. .py. I press enter. Okay. So the while loop is used to repeat a block of code, or to repeat an action until a certain condition is met. Okay. The for loop is used when you know the number of times to repeat a certain task, and the while loop is used when a certain condition or task must be repeated until a certain condition is met. Okay, so now let's look at example of how to use the while loop. So I will say count. I will say count equal 1. Okay, while count is less than or equal to 5. Bring my quote. Okay, enter. Print Python. I press enter here. Count plus equal 1. Okay, so I save it, run. Okay, so this prints Python 5 times, starting from 1 to 5. Okay, so while count is less than or equal to 5, print Python count plus equal 1. Okay, so this prints Python 5 times. Now let me deactivate this code and go to another example. Okay, so in this example, I'll begin by say password equal quote, which means empty. I go to the next line. While password is not equal to, while password is not equal to computer, Okay, while password is not equal to computer, I bring my colon, go to the next line, I press enter. Password equal input enter password. I bring comma here, sorry, colon here, and then space, the backward slash, and then n, which means new line. Okay, I press enter. I press the backspace and make sure it is in line with the while, and I type print access granted. Okay, so password equal empty code, while password is not equal to computer, while password is not equal to computer, password equal input, enter password, then print access granted. So this means that the program will keep asking me for a password. It will ask me to enter a password. Okay, and the password that I have set by default is computer. So as far as I enter a password that is not computer, or anywhere that is not computer, it will keep asking me for the right password. It will keep asking me for the right password until I enter the right password, which is computer. Okay, so now let me save it and run, and let's see. Okay, so you click, then this backward slash n means it should begin on the new line. So that is why, that is what it means. So now it says enter password. Okay, so let me enter Python and see. Press enter. You see, because it is not the right password, it will keep asking me enter password. Now let me type book. Press enter. It means enter password. It means not correct. Let me enter Paul and then enter. It says enter password. Let me type cat and press enter. Enter password. It means it's not correct. So now let me type the default password that I have set, which is computer. Okay, so computer. Then I press enter. Now it says access granted. Okay, so this is another way of using the while loop. Okay, so in Python programming, we have the for loop, and the for loop is used when you know the number of times to repeat a certain task, and the while loop is used until a certain condition is met. So let me run this program again. So it says enter password. So until the right password is entered, which is computer, it will keep asking me enter password, enter password. Okay, so now I say book. I type book, then I press enter. It says enter password because the right password has not been entered. Okay, now I am entering the right password, which is computer. Then I press enter. It says access granted. Okay, so this is how to use the while loop in Python programming. How to accept inputs from the keyboard. Okay, we will learn how to accept inputs from the keyboard. Okay, so now create a new file and name it accepting inputs. Accepting inputs, you can bring underscore between. So accepting underscore inputs. Don't forget to add the .py extension to it. So create a file and name it accepting inputs. Okay. So now let's look at how to accept inputs in Python programming. Now let's say I want a prompt that will tell me to enter a number, and then after that, then I display the number. Okay. So I will use a variable to store that number that I will enter through the keyboard. I will use a variable to store the number that I will enter through the keyboard. So that variable, I want to call it num1, which is number 1. Okay. So number 1 equal int, and I want the number to be an integer. Okay. So num1 equal int. Then I open parenthesis. Okay. Then I type input. Okay. Then I open parenthesis again. Okay. So between this parenthesis, then I type my quote, and then between the quotes I say enter first number. Okay. Enter first number. So num1 equal int, which is integer, open parenthesis, input, open parenthesis again, and then enter first number in quotes. Okay. The closing parenthesis are 2. Okay. The one for the first opening parenthesis, and then one for the second opening parenthesis. Okay. So we have 2 opening parentheses, this one and this one. So the closing parenthesis must also be 2, this one and this one. Okay. Now I press enter. Then I say print, open parenthesis, num1, which is the number that will be entered through the keyboard. Okay. Now I save it and run. Okay, so look at the terminal at the bottom of the screen here. It says enter first number. Okay. Okay. So let me close the terminal and add something to it. Enter first number. Let me bring colon here. Okay. Then I save. Okay. Then I run. Okay, so it says enter first number. Then in front of the colon, then you click. So you can enter your number, any number that you want. So let's say 5. Now I have typed 5. So if I press enter, it will display the number that I have typed, and that command is print num1. Okay, num1 is the variable that is storing, or that contains the number that is entered through the keyboard. So num1 is a variable. Okay, so the entered number is stored in num1. So when you say print num1, it means the number that you enter through the keyboard should be printed. So now after typing 5, then I press enter. Then 5 has been displayed again. Okay, let me close the terminal and run it again for you to see. So run. It says enter first number. So I click and I enter 5. Then I press enter, and it has displayed 5. Okay, now let me close the terminal. Now I can say enter first number. I can also ask for second number. Okay, so let me copy this code. You can copy, you highlight, okay, then you paste. So here I'll make it number 2, and then here I say enter second number. Okay, so enter second number, then I add another variable called answer, which is equal to num1 plus num2. Okay, num1 plus num2. Then I say print open parenthesis answer. Okay, so here the program will ask me for first number. Okay, and then it will ask me again for second number. After that, it will add the first number and the second number, then it displays the answer. Okay, so now let me run it and see. Okay, so it says enter first number, so you click here, then you enter the first number. Let's say 10. Then you press enter. It says enter second number. Then I enter 50. Okay, so now if I press enter again, it will add 10 and then 50 and display the answer. So I'm pressing enter. Okay, so the answer is 60. Okay, so this is how to accept inputs in Python programming. And because I stated that I will enter integer numbers only, that is why here is int. Okay, int, it means the number to be entered must be an integer. So here I have specified integer, so if I enter float or any number that contains decimal points, it won't accept. Okay, so now let me run the program again and see. So it is asking me for first number. So instead of typing an integer, I will enter a float or a decimal number like 5.5. Then I press enter. You see mistake. Okay, so that is how to accept a data or an input from the keyboard. So if I want to accept float, I will replace the integer with float. Okay, like this. Let me delete. And I type float like this. Okay, so the first number to be entered must be float here, and then the second number should be an integer. Okay, so let me save it and run it again. You see, so let's say 5.5. Now it will accept because I stated that I will enter a float here for the number 1. Okay, so then I press enter and it says enter second number. The second number must be an integer. So if I enter a float again, there will be a mistake. So I should enter an integer like 5. Okay, then I press enter again and it will give the answer 10.5. Okay, so this is how to use or this is how to accept inputs from the keyboard in Python programming. We will look at conditional statements. Conditional statements. So let me create my file and call it conditional statements. Conditional statements .py. Okay, conditional statements .py. Then I press enter. Okay, so now let's say A is equal to 10, and then B is equal to 5. Okay, now the conditional statement, I can say that if space A is greater than B, then I bring colon, then I press enter. Print open parenthesis quote A is greater than B. Okay, so A is a variable, B is also a variable, so 10, the value 10 has been stored in A and the value 5 has been stored in B. So now I want to find out if A is greater than B, then the program should print A is greater than B. Okay, now let me save it and then run. You see at the bottom here it says A is greater than B. Okay, let me close the terminal. Now let me add C to it. C is equal to 7. Okay, then I save it. Now I can say if A is greater than B, print A is greater than B. Okay, and then I come to the next line, then I say print open parenthesis A quotes A is greater than B and C. Okay, so if let me save it. So this one too, when I run, it will print A is greater than B, and then A is greater than B and C. So now let me run it again. Okay, it says A is greater than B, and then A is greater than B and C. Okay, now let me delete the last print and then the C that I added. Okay, let me save it. So now if I run, it will say A is greater than B. Okay, now let me call the terminal and then make this one comment. Okay, so I have made the above code comment, so it has been deactivated. Okay, another example of the conditional statements is, let's say A is equal to 10. A 10, and then B is equal to 8, and then C is equal to 15. Okay, now I can say if C is greater than A, and C is greater than B, and I bring my column, print open parenthesis and then quotes, C is greater than both A and B. Okay, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 8, C is equal to 15. So if C is greater than A, C is greater than A, and C is greater than B, print C is greater than both A and B. Okay, so here is B. Okay, if C is greater than both A and B, okay, print C is greater than both A and B. Okay, so if I run this program and all conditions are met, that if C is greater than A and then C is greater than B, then it will print C is greater than both A and B. Okay, now let me save it and then run. Now it says C is greater than both A and B, and it is true. Okay, now let me make this one to comment. And then another example, I can see A is equal to, or let me say name is equal to cat, and then age is equal to 5. Now, if name is equal to cat, or age is equal to 5 colon print one condition. One condition has been satisfied. Okay, so name is is equal to cat, and then age is 5. So if name is equal to cat, if name is equal to cat or age is equal to 5, print one condition has been satisfied. Okay, so I save it and then run, and it says one condition has been satisfied because it is true that name is cat and then age is 5. So one of them, it even both are correct, but at least one of them is correct or is true. Okay, or let me make it here. Let me make the age 10, and you can see that here it is only the name that is equal to cat. Okay, but the age has been assigned to 10. So in the conditional statement or the if statement, the age here is equal to 5. So print if name is equal to cat or age is equal to 5, you can say one condition has been satisfied. So let me call the terminal, and then I run. You see, one condition has been satisfied because one of the two conditions is true, and that is name cat is equal to name is equal to cat. But here age is equal to 5. It is not true. It is the age is 10. So because the name is equal to cat and the age is equal to 5 in the conditional statement, because of the or, it means the or means if one condition is true, and here the condition that made it possible is the name. The name is equal to cat. Okay, so this is the first part of how to use the if statement. Another way of using the if statement or the conditional statements. Okay, this is the conditional statements part 2. So create a new file and name it conditional statements 2. Okay, so now I want to write a program that will ask me for a number. Okay, so I can say number. Okay, the variable name number equal input. Number equal integer. I will enter an integer. Okay, enter a number. Okay, so number equal integer input, enter a number. Okay, now if the number is greater than 10, you press enter. If the number is greater than 10, you bring colon and you press enter. Okay, you see here the cursor is blinking. It shouldn't come under if. Okay, in case by mistake it comes under if, then you press the tab key once. Okay, or in case it comes under if and you are confused, you put it at the back of the column here, then you press enter. Okay, so this is called indentation. So if number is greater than 10, colon, print or let me make it if number is greater than or equal to 10, greater than or equal to 10, print number is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, if number is greater than or equal to 10, print number is greater than or equal to 10. Then you press enter and you press enter again. Sorry, you put at the back of the parenthesis, then you press enter. Then you press the backspace. This time you put it, you make sure the cursor is in line with the if. Then you type else colon, you press enter, print number is less than 10. Okay, and you save it. So if the number is greater than first, the program will ask me to enter a number, and the number that I enter will be stored. Okay, it will be stored in number. This number, the number that I have written here is a variable. Okay, so the number that I enter will be stored in variable, and the number must be an integer. So if the number that I enter is greater than or equal to 10, then the program should print number is greater than or equal to 10. Else, automatically, then if the number is not equal to or greater than 10, then automatically it is less than 10. So that is why the else is here. So else print number is less than 10. Okay, now run it. It says enter a number, so you click here and you enter a number. So let's say 10. You press enter and it says number is greater than or equal to 10, and it is true. Okay, let me kill the terminal and run it again. It says enter a number, so this time let me enter a number greater than 10, so 15. Press enter. Number is greater than or equal to 10, and it is true. Okay, now we run it again and enter a number 5. Press enter. It says number is less than 10. Okay, good. Now let me deactivate this code. Let me make it comment and go to another example. Okay, so here I'll enter a number, or I'll enter an age. Okay, the program will ask me to enter age, so Let me call the variable to store the number or the age. So age equal integer. Okay. Input. Enter your age. Okay, so the program will ask me to enter my age. So the program will say enter your age. Okay, and you must enter an integer, not a float, because I have specified integer. So if you enter a float like decimal place like 5.5, there will be a program. So age equal integer. Input, enter your age. So if age is greater than or equal to 18, print you 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 are an adult. Okay, if age is greater than or equal to 18, print you are an adult. Then you press enter, then you press backspace. Now this time make sure the cursor is in line with the if. Then you say elif, which means else if. In other programming languages they use else if. So elif colon, no, don't break colon, elif, which means else if age is greater than or equal to 5 colon, print you are a child. Okay, you press enter and then bring back space, else colon, enter, print you are a baby or you are a kid. Okay, let me use baby. You are a baby. Okay, so the program will, when I run the program, it will ask me for my age. So if age is greater than or equal to 18, it will print you are an adult. As if the elif means as if age is greater than or equal to 5, print you are a child. If none of the above, then it should print you are a baby. Okay, so now let me run it and see. You say enter age. So let me enter 18 and press enter. It says you are an adult. Okay, let me call the terminal and run it again. It says enter age. Let me enter 20. Press enter. It says you are an adult. Okay, let me close it and run it again. It says enter your age. Okay, So let me say 5. Okay, press enter. It says you are a child. Okay, now let me close it and run it again. Let me enter 10. Press enter. It says you are a child. Okay, let me run it again and then enter like 2. What is enter your age? Let me say 2 and then press enter. It says you are a baby. Okay, so let me explain the program again. So age is the variable to store the number that you enter will be stored in age. Okay, the variable called age. So the age is assigned to the number that you enter, and the number must be an integer. int int means integer. So age equal integer, then you enter your age. The message to display has been put in quote because it is a string. Okay, so if age is greater than or equal to 18 colon, then it should print you are an adult. Elif, which means else, if age is greater than or equal to 5, then it should print you are a child. Else, if none of the above, then it means it should print you are a baby. It means you are a baby. Okay, so this is how to use the if statements. Okay, or this is the conditional statements in Python programming. We are going to look at how to write complete programs. Okay, so to start, we will begin by writing a simple program to find the area. Okay, so now let me say pi is equal to 3.142. Okay, and then radius is equal to 5, and then you know the formula for finding area is pi r squared. So area is equal to pi times, okay, open parenthesis, radius square. Okay, so pi is equal to 3.142, radius is equal to 5, area is equal to pi times radius square. Okay, so the in Python I taught you that the asterisk, double asterisk, is used as an exponent, is used for exponentiation. Okay, so radius raised to the power of 2, okay, which is r square or radius square. Okay, so now I want to print area. Okay, so print area. Okay, now I save. Okay, so if I run, you see it has calculated the area, which is 78.55. 78.55. Okay, so for the pi value and the radius value, you can use the input function to ask for pi value and also to ask for radius value. Okay, so you can use the input that I taught you earlier to enter the pi, and also you can use the input to enter the radius, and then you use the formula area equal pi r squared. Okay, so this is a simple program to find the area. Okay, now we are going to look at how to write a calculator program. Okay, calculator program. Okay, so okay, so we are going to look at how to write a calculator program. Okay, and now this is how the program looks like. Okay, first the program will ask for number one. It will ask us to enter the first number. Okay, then it asks us again to enter the second number, and all must be float because calculator, when someone is performing calculation, the person can enter either an integer or decimal values. Okay, so you have to use the float. Okay, so in case you use when you use the float, if the person enters integer, it will accept. If the person enters float, it will also accept. Okay, so you have to use float. And also when you are writing a software for financial calculation like the one the banks use, because the banks, they always deal with decimal values. Okay, so now the number one, we have to enter number one, and then number two, we have to enter number two, which is the second number, and then you have to enter the operator, either addition, multiplication, division, or subtraction. Okay, so now start by writing let's start by writing our program. Okay, so now I'll start by saying num1. Okay, num1 equal float. Num1 equal float, and then input, because we have to enter the number, so input. Okay, and then enter first number. Okay, you put the cursor at the back of the parenthesis, and then you press enter. Okay, so num2 also we have to enter, so num2 is equal to float, and then input. Okay, input, so enter second number. Okay, enter second number, so it will ask us for the first number, then it asks us for the second number. Okay, and then the operator also we have to input, so operator equal input. Okay, so you say enter operator. Okay, enter operator. Okay, you can bring colon after number. Okay, so enter first number, you can bring colon, and enter second number too, you can bring colon. Okay, and then enter operator. Okay, now you start after entering the first number, second number, and the operator. If operator if operator is equal to plus. Okay, the plus is a character, so you have to put it in quotes. If operator is addition or plus, colon, then print num1 plus num2 plus num2. Okay, so if the operator is plus addition, it means print number 1 plus 2. It means it should add number 1 and number 2. Okay, you press enter, you press the backspace, and then elif, which is else if operator is multiplication colon, then print num1 multiplying num2. Okay, print num1 multiplying num2. Okay, you press enter, you press backspace, you make sure it is in line with the if and the else if. Then you type else if again, elif, okay, elif, which is else if operator is division, blank quote, then print num1 divided by num2. Okay, press enter, backspace. Else if, which is elif, if operator is subtraction, which is minus colon, print num1 minus num2. Okay, you press enter, you press the backspace. Else, the S stands for if the operator is not either of the 4 operators: addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction. Then else, print invalid operator. Okay, print invalid operator. Okay, so now you can save it. Okay, so now you can save it. Okay, so it will ask us num1 float input, enter first number. It will ask us for the first number, and then num2 float input, enter second number. It will ask us to input or type second number, and then operator input, enter operator. Then you select the operator, you type. If the operator is addition or plus, then print num1 plus 2. Okay, if it is addition, is plus, then it will add number 1 plus number 2. Else if, which is elif operator, is multiplication, then it will multiply number 1 by number 2. Else if operator, elif operator, is equal to division, it will divide number 1 by number 2. Else if elif operator, the elif means else if the operator is subtraction, then it will subtract number 1, it will subtract number 2 from number 1. Okay, either, if the operator is either of the 4 operators, which is addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction, then it should display a message that invalid operator. Okay, so now let's run it and see. Click. You say enter first number. I enter 5. It says enter second number. I enter 10. I press enter. It say enter operator, and I enter plus. Then I press enter. You see 15. Okay, 15.00. Okay, so now let me run it again. Enter first number 10. You press enter. Enter second number 5. You press enter. Enter the operator. I can say division. Okay, so I press enter. So it will divide 10 by 5, which is 2. Okay, so let me run it again. It says enter first number 5. Enter second number 5. Then you press enter. Enter operator. This time multiplication. Okay, then you press enter. So 5 times 5, 25. Okay, so I call the terminal and then run it for the last time. Okay, so I run. It says enter first number. I enter 10. I press enter. Enter first number 5. Then you press enter. It says enter operator minus, which is subtraction. Then you press enter. So the answer is 5. Okay, so this is a complete calculator program. So this is how to write complete programs. So you can use the knowledge that you have got throughout this course to create any program that you want. So this is how to create programs using Python programming knowledge. Have a wonderful studies and keep on learning more.